What is up, guys? It's the Football Fanatic here. I am going to talk a little bit about the AHL today, which is the American Hockey League. So, continuing with that hockey focus for right now until the NFL starts to pick back up, until football comes back, basically. So, as I was kind of looking through the statistics of the AHL, I thought it was really weird that some of the last games of the Pacific Division teams were like their 68th game. And I noticed that other teams had 76 games, and that was their last game. So I kind of wondered why on earth would teams in the same league play different amounts of games. And really, I didn't find a direct answer out there on the web, but I found a lot of people saying that it doesn't really affect the teams that much. However, it does kind of seem to affect them in the division. So, just right off the bat here, and it's the Pacific Division that has these 68 game teams, and they're all in California. So you have Stockton, the Stockton Heat, San Jose Barracuda, Ontario Reign, San Diego Gulls, and then the Bakersfield Condors. And then the other two teams in that division are the Texas Stars and San Antonio Rampage. And because of this kind of difference in games, the league is having to go off of a win percentage, which is totally fine. And that basically determines the playoff position. So it does work out okay, but I don't get why they have only 68 games. I understand that it doesn't really affect the whole entire league very much because the teams play so much in their conference or mostly in their division. But from the standings this year, the teams in the Pacific Division that are the top 5 teams out of the 7 teams in the Pacific Division are the California teams, the Texas Stars and San Antonio Rampage. The 76 gamers are the bottom 2 teams. So I kind of have a feeling that it might affect teams in the division a little bit, and so I think it should be 76. I mean, why not change it to 76 games? They don't really have a solid explanation for why it's 68 games. It might be because certain teams are in the same city, but I don't think that's the case because San Jose is the only one that plays in the same arena as the Sharks in the NHL. So scheduling really shouldn't be an issue. Comment if you do know the reason for why they do this, but I'm just going to make a little note here that I believe that the commissioner of the AHL or somebody should change it so that the California teams also play 76 games, or, which this one makes no sense, shorten the number of games to 68, or meet in the middle or something. But I think the best solution would just be to, change it so they play the 76 games, because when they have less games, they are getting more rest and more time to strategize for the next opponent. If they have 68 games, then that's different from all the other teams, and then you have to do this weird point system where it's win percentage instead of just the point system like in the NHL. So if you moved it up to 76 games, you could go to that point system, which every single league seems to use. And then not only that, you also will gain more revenue for these teams and as a league because you have more games to sell tickets to fans for them to watch, and the teams are going to make a lot more money because of that. And also, it allows the NHL teams that have these AHL affiliates, I think most of them are in the Pacific Division also, so you have, I believe the Stockton Heat are the Flames, San Jose and the Sharks, and then Ontario Reign are the Kings, San Diego Gulls are the Ducks, and then Bakersfield Condors are the Oilers. So it allows these NHL teams, about 8 more games to send players down or bring players up. Mostly send players down for further development or just continuous play. They're rookies, might come up for the NHL, and then when they have a break, they'll send them down to the AHL to get some more play time and more experience. And then lastly, I think that it just doesn't really have a huge effect on the league as a whole, of course. When you change the 68 games to 76 games, it has all these benefits, and like the playoff format is not going to be changed by it. It's going to remain the same, even though it's win percentage compared to the point system. It just makes a lot more sense. So that's kind of my idea with the 68 games. There's no really good explanation for why they have only 68 games being played for these California teams. But yeah, I think that there's a lot more benefits of adding on these games for the teams and for the players themselves. I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching or listening, and subscribe for weekly content on sports. Peace.